With the announcement of the new batch system coming to doors, which means we will be receiving more frequent updates, I wanted to take this video to go over every new single update or batch coming to the game in the next few months. These updates will include a wide range of new features, from the introduction of new entities to a variety of new areas in the game, to new rooms and room types and floors. Now, although a couple future batches were confirmed to be implemented, a lot of what is said in this video is gathered from what the developers said they'd add a long while back, not specifically in batches, so much of this is subject to change. However, this doesn't mean that all of the features mentioned in this video will eventually come to the game, and this batch system is the perfect way for them to be implemented. Anyways, enough ranting. With all of that being said, let's begin. Alright, so the developers have revealed that the first batch is going to release this month, and we already have a pretty good idea of what's going to be in it. As you may know, the developers were originally going to release the Rooms Overhaul update this month, but it was pushed back to make room for this batch. One feature which was heavily implied to be added in the Rooms Overhaul update was Wade, a new aquatic entity that would spawn in the mines. Seeing as how this entity has nothing to do with the Rooms Overhaul, it's very likely it will be added in its very own batch, most likely this upcoming one. The developers also hinted in the announcement revealing the new batch system that additional features such as new rooms and mechanics to the mines alongside Wade would also be added, although the accuracy of this hint is up to debate. Still, the new Wade entity is the most likely addition coming in this very first batch. Now, after this batch will likely be the release of the Rooms Overhaul update, as that is nearing completion. However, the developers also revealed to us what the batch after that update will likely contain. According to them, this batch would introduce a new greenhouse-like area to the mines. As you may recall, the final 10 doors of the hotel are an area known as the greenhouse, a difficult subsection of unique rooms that tests all the skills you learn throughout the entire floor. No area like this exists for the mines. However, the developers confirmed that there are plans to implement one. As to what this mines greenhouse area would contain or be themed around, it is largely unknown as of right now. However, it is possible it could place an emphasis on figure, given how underutilized they are in the entire floor, only showing up in 3 relatively small rooms, although that is mostly speculation. Now, those were the only 2 batches we know are almost guaranteed to release sometime soon. The following batches I'm going to mention are themed around features which the developers have promised ages ago, and I'm grouping them together based on theme. The first of these theoretical batches is the Caw Overhaul. The Caws are environmental entities that can be found in the outdoors, which apart from having 2 very niche uses are mostly just decorations. The developers have briefly talked with me about updating them to give them a bigger functionality. These new functionalities include the ability for Caws to perch nearby alive monuments, notifying players of their presence, as well as the introduction of Birdseed, a new item which, when fed to the Caws, would slightly boost the spawn rate of iron keys and lotus petals. As you may know, bread already does this, however Birdseed would be more common to encounter and provide a weaker effect. Moving on, the next potential batch I'd like to go over is the introduction of Rush variants. Currently, as you probably know, only 2 variants of Rush exist within the game's main floors, those just being Normal Rush and Ambush. Although a bunch exist in sub-floors, those are the only 2 in main floors, which is what we are focusing on right now. The developers have said that they are considering adding more Rush entities to main floors, with different functionalities, and this batch system seems like the perfect opportunity to do so. These potential new Rush variants are stated to have more unique mechanics, so they likely won't just be reskins of Rush with different speed and damage statistics, but they would actually have unique ways of being dealt with as well. Very little is currently known about the status of rush variants being added to the game, but it is a heavily requested feature, so I believe it will be implemented sometime in the future. Furthermore, another exciting new batch which will likely be implemented is one featuring an overhaul to the second Hotel Seek Chase. This Seek Chase is infamous for being nearly identical to the incredibly easy first Hotel Seek Chase, with not a lot of variety to differentiate the two, unlike both of the Mine Seek Chases. The developers have stated a while back how they'd like to update it to be more unique, and it being featured with a new batch is a match made in heaven given its scale. Currently, it is unknown what the second Hotel Seek Chase revamp will contain or be themed around, but given how the second Mine Seek Chase is themed around a room type in the mines, that being the sewers, the same could be done for the second Hotel Seek Chase. If I had to guess, maybe the chase takes place in the basement rooms you periodically find throughout the hotel, although that is largely just speculation for now. Lastly, the final upcoming theoretical batch could focus on the upcoming monument variants. As you probably know, traditional monument entities mimic the obelisk structures found in the outdoors. However, it's been said that at some point there will be a modifier that brings monuments to the hotel. These modifier monuments will be programmed to mimic any object in the hotel, as obelisks don't naturally spawn in the hotel, meaning several monument variants could exist. One could be of a potted plant, one could be of a table, one could be of a chair, really anything is possible. The developers have stated in their batch system announcement message that batches focused on modifiers are a definite possibility, and seeing how this monument modifier is a highly anticipated feature, I don't think it would be surprising if a batch released themed around its addition. So, to summarize, the confirmed features coming to batches in the upcoming months are Wade, a new aquatic entity found in the flooded rooms within the mines, and a new greenhouse type area for the mines to make the floor's ending a bit more memorable and challenging. Additionally, the developers also promised a bunch of features a while back that could be turned into batches. These include a proposed overhaul to the cause, which would make them have a larger functionality, such as the ability to feed them birdseed, and the ability for them to notify players when monuments are nearby. The addition of Rush variants, which would all have unique characteristics so they aren't just reskins of Rush with different speeds. The overhaul of the second Hotel Seek Chase to differentiate it from the first one. And the addition of monument variants in the form of the highly anticipated monument modifier. These monument variants are especially cool as they could mimic any object in the hotel, such as potted plants or tables, so that's pretty cool. So, with all that being said, let me know in the comments what your thoughts are about all of these future updates, as I'm definitely excited for them. And thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.